Hi friends, welcome to Joy Feeder International. So today we got something really exciting for you. We want to share some of our experiences of life with you as always. And what does Joy Feeder International represent? It represents inspiring you to success, inspiring you to see those things that you don't see at the moment, such that once you begin to understand them, your focus changes and your life starts to change and things start to get better. So my name is Joy Fido and welcome on board. So what's the title of or the topic of our talk today, our discussion, our chat? The title is Life Recycles. Life recycles, that's what it is. And how does life recycle? History repeats itself. That's a big message. History repeats itself. So I took my time to think about this, and it started becoming clearer and clearer to me. Now, what you're going to find is, just because it is history, does it make it right? That's the one big question you need to ask yourself. Because it's history, does it make it right? Now, there are lots of us who, what we tend to do is we repeat exactly what our parents did. You're going to find lots of us, because our mother was a single mother, that makes it right for us to become single mothers. My mom got pregnant at 15. That makes it okay, I should get pregnant at 15. My mom didn't get married. Hey, that's perfectly okay, because I too can have kids without being married. My family, they were poor. Oh my gosh. Why is that a problem then? I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is just repeat what my parents did. I have to be poor. My community, we've always had it really bad. That's fine. That's our community. See, that's our history. We should always have it bad. My race is not progressing. Hey, what do you know? It's normal. We're meant to be way behind at the bottom of the ladder, because that makes it okay. See, history is just repeating itself, so it's fine. And I had to ask myself, does it make it right? Is that okay? I mean, there are instances too where, oh yeah, in the family, everybody gets high blood pressure. You know what? All of us must die from high blood pressure, because it's in the bloodline. And so we don't question. We don't think anything about it. We don't ask any more things we could do. We don't think we can change that. We just accept it. I mean, there was that story of this man, and this particular man was constantly drunk. He was in no good. He was a pauper. His life was an absolute mess. And then in the end, he died, obviously, in that state. And these two kids were now growing up. And one of them was exactly like his dad. And when people asked him, why have you chosen to be this way? He said, why are you surprised who I am? You know that saying, the fruit is never far from the tree. Why should you expect otherwise from me? My dad was a drunkard, was a no good, he was poor, and he died that way. I am going to be exactly like that. And the other son said, you know what? I want an opposite of what my dad was. And so he carried on and completely deviated from everything his dad was. And he went to school, got educated, and he worked so hard, and he achieved so much in life. And then when they interviewed him and asked him, why did you turn out differently? He said, I never liked anything that my dad was. I did not feel good about what I saw. And I realized that I have to be different from that. And that's why I chose. Remember the word I'm using. I chose to be different. I mean, I come from a community in Nigeria River State in particular. And the general assumption is people from your community never get anywhere in life. I grew up hearing that. That's history. Oh yeah, you people never get anywhere, and you people are this rubbish, and these people are like that, and you people are like that. And as a young child, I said to myself, really? But just because I come from a community does not stamp it on in my bloodline, doesn't stamp it in my cells that that's who I should become. And I chose. It was a choice. Because I remember in university then in Nigeria, and my teacher said something like, you know what? You can choose to allow poverty to recycle in your bloodline, in your family, in whoever you are. That was a course, I think either in psychology or philosophy or one of those. He said, it will repeat itself. Because your parents did this, so you're going to do the same thing, and it just carries on until one of you chose to break the line. One of you would choose to break it. And it hit me hard. I remember, first year in university, and I said, oh my gosh, this is not going to be me. And I'm going to choose. The same word again, I'm going to choose to be different. And what I did then, way back in Nigeria, if you're Nigerian, you find lots of us, especially those of us from River State, we tend to have this habit of just hanging around Port Harcourt, which is the city in the state. Everybody wants to stay in Port Harcourt because that's where everything happens. And I chose, no, I don't want Port Harcourt. I want to go farther away, and I went to Lagos. And I remember then, my relatives, look, oh, but Lagos is too far, and people they kill people there, and all types of atrocities happen there, and you are not going to survive it. And I said, no, I am choosing to live there. And it's just something that I realized is you can make that choice. You can choose to allow the history that's held you people down and hold you back and hold everyone in your neighborhood, your family, your community, your bloodline down. You can choose to allow that history to recycle. Hence life recycles, because if you don't do something about it, it will just naturally repeat itself. That's just the way it is. If there's a medical condition in your bloodline and you don't ask questions and you don't seek answers and you don't say, how do I stop this? How can I deal with this? I know this is in my bloodline. Can something be done about this? You're going to repeat the same exact thing that happened. And if you know that if people in your family never did go to school, I know of there's apparently a community here in the UK that nobody works. It's so normal that nobody goes to work. It was a program on TV once. And why do you think that's the case? Because they've accepted it. They've accepted the fact that it is normal for nobody to work. And so the same thing now, us, especially us black people, we tend to accept, like this whole thing going on now in London, young black boys stabbing themselves, because they are accepting that history. Oh yeah, we tend to fight each other all the time, and we get into drugs, and we get into families and cliques, and then we stab each other, and we die so young. 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old parents are crying because we're allowing that history to keep recycling, going round and round. And so the message now is down to you to break free of whatever this history is. You can choose to break out of it. And you know what I keep saying about inspiring us to success? It is your choice. It is your choice to say, I don't want to take this down. I don't want to accept this. I want to snap out of this. What does it take to be out of this situation? What do I require? What kind of knowledge do I need? What kind of skills do I need to have? And you take it on and you are going to find that you change things. You can then snap out of that history. So it's very important that you take this on. Start looking at your hands. Start seeing the kind of things that's been repeating itself in your community. Ask questions, seek answers, and then you're going to find that you will not be part of that history. So, you've heard of that saying that your destiny is in your hands. That's what it is. Your destiny is in your hands. You can choose to make of life what you want it to be. You can choose to make of life what you want it to be. And I know some cultures where they typically accept poverty. You know, the understanding is because your dad was poor, you have to be poor. Everyone around you have to be poor because you were not born rich. But no. I mean, when you look at stories like Oprah Winfrey, who had a really rough growing up, did she say, oh yeah, look at my life, it's such a mess, I'm going to just sit down, let it ride? No, she didn't. And there's so many people out there, so many examples, you know, they say grass to grace. Yeah, but it always comes down to your mind and your intellectual. Because all these books are out there for you to buy and read. The internet, as it is right now, is open for everyone. Whatever knowledge you seek, go online and it's there. Why then should we still keep repeating history? Why? Why then should we allow, because people said, and then you say to yourself, you know what, I'd rather just relax here and watch myself disintegrate and die. Why do you not give life a fighting chance? Why do you not take, you know how they say, take the bull by the horns and say, you know what, I want to deal with you. I want to deal with poverty. I want to deal with pains. I want to deal with sickness. I want to, and by God's grace, you know, the British people would say, touch wood. When I was pregnant with my third daughter, and then they diagnosed me with, oh yeah, you have pregnancy diabetes. Is there diabetes in your bloodline? Oh yeah, it could just be that that's what it is. And I said, nah, really, it's not going to happen. And what I did was I researched it. I started asking questions. I started wanting to know what caused it. And I realized it was the type of food I was eating. And I had to cut them all away. I just cut them away. It was a choice. And I said, I don't want to deal with this. No, I'm not going to sit here and watch myself disintegrate because my bloodline, they have diabetes, so I'm going to take on diabetes. No. And I rejected it. Within the year they gave me to come back for a test, I was off it. And touch wood till today, I don't even have any reason to go to a doctor for anything. And I thank God for it. Yes, because God's been merciful to me and caring and, you know, guiding me on what to do and what not to do. I watch what I eat. Because I know that if I deviate from doing that, if I repeat the same format, that ideally this is how it should be, history will repeat itself. So I am choosing not to allow that to happen. And that's the same with all of us. Don't accept things blindly. Don't just take it on because, you know what, well, everyone's told me that I am like this, so, you know what, I'll just take it on. I don't take that on. I don't take that on. I remember growing up and then I had some argument with my brother. And he's like, oh, there you are. You think you're something. You're going to be nobody. Yeah, you hear things like that when people are in their craziness. But I told myself, you know what? You wish that for me? Okay, it's not going to be that. And I went the opposite way. I try to give myself a fighting chance in everything I do. Because all it takes is for me to do my research. All it takes is for me to ask my questions. all it takes is for me to find that answers. And the same thing I'm guiding my children. You're not going to sit down there and because your mom was this, you want to be that. Or your dad was this, you want to be that. You want to give life a fighting chance. And that's the same thing I'm chatting with you today about. If you know what you want to be, don't sit down and allow anyone to start telling you things and saying, oh yeah, because this is how it is normally done by people who are like this. You know, you start hearing, oh, this is for short people, and this is for tall people, and this is for skinny people, and this is for... Who is quoting all of that to you? Who? So if you're not willing to give life a chance and aim for that thing that you really want, chase those things that you are looking for, asking the right questions to give you the right answers, seeking and knocking. You know, the Bible says it very clearly. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Ask and it is given. So if you don't go out there doing the same thing that we've been clearly told by the Bible, and then you are accepting faith blindly. Well, they said to me, it's in my bloodline that they said to me, people from my community don't. They said to me, we're not, you know, it really bothers me. It really bothers me. I like to break from the norm. That's me. I like to give people something to think about. That's why, you know, sometimes here on the channel, you see me, I wear my really completely platinum blonde hair, and then I get all the negative comments. Oh, but why are you wearing blonde hair? You're a black person wearing blonde hair. People who want to stick to history, because history said, because it is expected that you should be. Oh, and I come here and I try to guide people. You know what? This is how you care for your natural hair. Oh yeah, how dare you telling me about natural hair when you're wearing wig? Yes, I love to wear wig. That's something I enjoy doing. But then I'm not sticking to history. So today I come with this and tomorrow I come with that. You know, just give you something to think about. Because again, what you're going to find is, this is what you're going to find. If you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over, you become boring. People see the same look all the time. They just expect, they know she's going to come here again with that same look. But take for example the iPhones and the iPads and all of that. What do you see them do all the time? They upgrade. They upgrade. So, oh, iPhone 1, iPhone 2, iPhone 3, and it just keeps going and going. And even Google that we all look at, every day you look at Google is a different image. You add more to life. You bring something new. You make it exciting. You make people want to look at you. You make people ask questions. Okay, people tell me all kinds of things. But you know what? They don't take a skin off my body, because I know I am living from inside. I want to do those ideas that come to my head, and I just fling them out, and it makes me feel good. You need to do that. Wake up to life and don't let anything hold you back. Don't let people distract you. Don't let people take you away from all those exciting things that's going on in your head, and you're thinking, oh wow, I would have loved to do this. But you know what? I hear people that like that all the time. I'm worried what people will think. I'm worried what people will say. If I did this, I don't know what people will think of me. Also, do you live by people's standards now? How about live by your own standards? Because I can remember when I read this, but it's like, when you try to please people all the time, there's one person who's suffering, and that's you. So when you make other people happy, you become unhappy, because there's always one person who has to be unhappy. And if I were you, I'd rather make me happy than make other people happy. Because you tend to lose you when you try to please everyone around you. So if you keep sticking to what history said, this is history said nobody in that community travels out. History says people from that area are not educated. History said if you go to school, you shouldn't, there was this one, I remember years ago when I was trying to do a course in retail, I think. And my teacher was like, when I was looking for what to do, what to study in school, the career advisor was, people from your area, they only do nursing. And she said, what? Yeah, black people and nursing. And the same attitude, like now there's people that, oh yeah, black people, boys, sports. They just want to tie you to something. But you don't know who I am inside. So why are you trying to tie me to something? Why don't you just let me be? Because you are accepting that, so you go with the flow, you go with them. That's not what it should be. That's a big message here. Because if you allow people to influence you and dictate to you and distract you and lead you blindly, you will end up repeating the same history. We want to go away from history that doesn't benefit us. If that history you look back, oh yes, you know what? Yeah, black people in those days, they did great things. I want to be like them. If it's going to benefit you, go for it. If it's of no use to you, just like these two sons who one was repeating the dad and the other chose to be. If you know that, you know what, the way dad died, I didn't like it. The way dad lived, I did not like that. I want something different. Do something different. And that's the choices I've made in my life too. Yes, I grew up from a really poor home, yes. But I chose, you know what, I'm not going to repeat what's happened to my, childhood to my children. And I made the choices. And I'm hoping they also will grow up and say, I won't repeat exactly what I had as a child. I want to give my children more. They should do that too. And so that's what life should be. We should improve. We should upgrade. We should make better. Not just go back to the same old. Yeah, my life was grotty growing up. You know what? Guess what? You too are going to have grotty life. And that's why when you need to improve in your life, if there's anything you have found that is going to help you, and I'm going to guide you again on this one. We always talk about this, our home training DVDs. In here we have over 30 DVDs that are 21 of them are different ways you can work with hair. Working with hair is guaranteed to put money in your pocket, because you know the minute somebody sits down on your chair and you've done their hair, they'll put money right in your hands. Years ago, when I was making that decision to take up that knowledge, I had choices. I had, I want to do fashion and I want to do hair and I want to do, what if I go back to work? And I choose, no. I want something that will put money in my hands right now, and then I will be able to work from home, take my children to school, take them on school trips, be my own person, and I chose that. And today, when people started asking, please, could you help me? I live so far away. The cost of traveling to you, living in a hotel is going to be too much. What can I do? We created that home package to help you. It's on our website, hairextensionsandbeauty.com. We've done a video where I'm explaining that if you really want something, you save your money for it. You cut out any unnecessary things that are not going to add value to your life. That's how I've been able to improve my life. I took on major sacrifices. I've done videos too on sacrifice. Because if you want to achieve results, they don't come by sitting in your face. You have to give up something to get something. That's how it is. That's the life we will then decide to choose. I want to give up this one because I want that one there. And when you do all of that, you find out that history that people have been telling you, oh yeah, people from your area, people who do this, people, you find out that history disappears and you create a new history. I've written that, on my WhatsApp. It was one of the ones that I really love. So, and I wrote there, I say, stop repeating history. Create your own history. Create your own history. Be the one that people talk about too and say, do you remember that lady? She was like this. Because you contributed something. So don't be the one that just falls into place. I mean, there are so many people, you know how they say, be a round hole in a square peg or something like that. Be different. Don't just fall in. Oh, everybody must wear this and you go and wear the same thing. How about you wear something different? So learn to be different from the crowd. Learn to be you, because you're going to find, which is why it's so interesting, when they say thumbprint, thumbprint, you take your thumb, you print somewhere. There are no two thumbs that are the same. When they say iris, there are no two iris that are the same. So that just goes to show you that God created every one of us different. So if we can allow our uniqueness to shine through, we will not be this crowd that is just repeating and recycling history. I went out the other day and we're at this event, and there are these kids that came with their parents. I mean, it was just an observation for me. And I happened to know the parents. I didn't really know much about the kids. But I noticed that the kids were just stuck in their chair and did not stand up to go anywhere as this event was going on. Now, one thing I tend to do with my kids is I just let them be themselves. Be individual. Be yourself. Whatever makes you who you are, please be it while you are guided to avoid mistakes. If you love cooking, please cook. You love football, go and kick the ball. You love basketball, play around with it. You love reading, please read. You don't like reading, that's fine. What do you like doing? I want to know what makes you stand out from the rest. Just be that person. And, especially, let's say with hair. And I remember then people saying, but if you're teaching everybody how to do hair, and everybody knows how to do hair, so who's going to come and, get service from the other? And I said, no. Things like that don't bother me. You know why? Because we're all so different that you are going to add your uniqueness to this skill that it will stand out differently. And that's what I proved. Because all my students are different. I look at their work and I go, wow. It's one of the videos that I'm going to bring up again to guide us on understanding that the human mind is so different. We may look at one thing, both of us seeing this one thing, and we're seeing it from two different perspectives. And that's why sometimes you hear two heads are better than one. Because when you take those two heads together, you may just get something completely different. So it's about reminding us that it's not about repeating what the other person, I want to do exactly what that person did. What's the point of that? Where is your uniqueness? And this is why when we start thinking that people should learn to be themselves, we have to allow ourselves to stand out from the crowd. That's why we should allow the human mind to recreate, to create what is coming to it. Because everything that comes to each of our minds are different. And it's like, when I look back in Africa, for instance, over 1 billion people. 1 billion people, that's 1 billion minds. And if we could allow those minds to start thinking and recreating and giving results, can you imagine how much whatever it is we'll be able to create in this world? Not because we're busy trying to force everyone to fall into place and be the same. It's the same issue I always have with academic education. You know, I talk about it from time to time. I have no issue with going to school, because going to school, what it brings to you is, it's kind of like opens the door, gives you a little glimpse of where knowledge is. And once you have that glimpse, it says to you, you go there and find yourself. That's what academic education is all about. Because like I'm doing this course, and each time we're about to do something new, they just get us started and that's it. And so you're not left in the middle of nowhere and you're thinking, okay, but how do I know this and how do I know that? And then I understood that, you know what, it's about you doing your research to make it work. And so that's what I start doing. But if all of us are given that, this is it, go out there and create things for yourself, you're going to find that you will stand out. But in particular with practical training is practically holding your hands and telling you, this is how it's done. And so the minute you see how it's done, is now for you to go and pull it out and say, I want to do my own this way. I remember with my training, I said to my students, you know, you could put blonde there, you know, you could put blue hair there, and you know, you can put gray hair here. And once I started opening their minds to see what was possible, they are fled with great ideas. That's what practical skills give you. Right now, in this instant, pick up something and go and use it. But what education will do is try to mold everybody to be the same. And then we all come out, you know, like I always say to people, so if 10,000 students come out of university this year, all with their 2-2 in business administration, for instance, what makes one of them stand out from the other? What kind of thinking have we been able to impact on them such that they will go out and become individuals? But that's not for me to decide. It's for society to think around what we are doing with our minds. Because that's the greatest asset we have, our mind. And so if we can allow our mind to become individual and unique and different, we will not be allowing history to just take over us. Oh, in my family is always like this, so it will always be like that. No. Because you're different. You're an individual. You're different from the other and the other and the other and the other. And so allow what God created to stand out from you. Give yourself that fighting chance to be that unique person that you were meant to be. And so the big message here is, remember to not allow yourself be pulled blindly into accepting what is not working for you just because it's happened before. And so you can just do it and it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. If it's not okay for you, it's not okay. If it's something that's normal to you and you think this is benefiting me, it's bringing you value, please repeat it. But if you find it's not bringing you any value, please deviate from it. Make that choice to go away from it and be a better person. So I'm going to stop here because, again, I'm trying not to over drag any topic, but the bigger message has been given. So if you find this has contributed or given you an inkling or some idea to think about, give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, because then we'll give you more. Each time we get these ideas, we're happy to share with you. And remember to follow us on all our various social media, World of Braiding on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn. Sometimes we're there. We have blogs as well. But just follow us everywhere you find us, because there's always something we are happy to share with you. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video. And thank you so much for watching this, and God bless you immensely.